If you had told a serious audiophile 15 years ago that the future of hi-fi belonged to Class D amplifiers, there's a good chance they would have laughed. Not because they disliked new technology, because at the time, Class D had earned a reputation that was almost impossible to escape. People described it as cold, clinical, lifeless. Some even dismissed it as digital sounding. For many enthusiasts, Class D was something you found inside Bluetooth speakers, compact desktop systems, or budget home theater receivers, not in a serious two-channel listening room. Real hi-fi, they believed, required heavy transformers, massive heat sinks, and amplifiers weighing 30 kilograms or more. Weight itself became a symbol of quality. Yet look around today, and something remarkable has happened. Companies that spent decades perfecting Class A and Class AB designs are now releasing Class D amplifiers of their own. Some of the industry's most respected engineers have dedicated years of their careers to improving the technology they once ignored. And perhaps the most surprising image of all is this: a beautifully machined amplifier, smaller than a shoebox, quietly replacing components that once occupied an entire equipment rack. The question is, did Class D finally defeat Class AB after decades of debate? Perhaps the real breakthrough wasn't the technology itself. Perhaps only a handful of companies finally learned how to unlock its true potential. And today, we'll be exploring the only 5 Class D amplifiers worth buying. Not every Class D amplifier deserves its reputation, and not every company truly understands how to make the technology perform at its best. The first company on this list recognized that long before most of the industry did. Number 5, NAD M33, the company that never gave up on Class D. If there's one company that helped convince serious audiophiles to take Class D seriously, it's probably NAD. Not because they invented the technology, but because they were willing to invest in it long before it became fashionable. For decades, many manufacturers continued treating Class D as a compromise, a practical solution for saving space, reducing heat, or lowering manufacturing costs. NAD saw something different. They saw potential. That philosophy reached one of its clearest expressions in the NAD M33. At first glance, the amplifier doesn't try to overwhelm you with extravagant styling or oversized chassis panels. Its design is clean, purposeful, and almost understated. But inside, it represents years of confidence in a technology many competitors were still questioning. Built around Purify Eigentalk amplification, the M33 demonstrated what could happen when an exceptional Class D module was matched with thoughtful engineering rather than clever marketing. Its sophisticated power management, careful implementation, and integration with the Blue OS streaming platform created something that felt complete rather than experimental. And that's an important distinction. The M33 wasn't trying to prove that Class D could compete. It behaved as though that argument had already been settled. Owners weren't simply buying efficiency. They were buying refinement, convenience without sacrificing performance, modern engineering without abandoning hi-fi values. That's why the M33 became far more than another integrated amplifier. It became a statement that Class D had finally reached a level where it deserved to stand beside the industry's most respected designs. NAD didn't invent Class D, but they were among the first established hi-fi companies willing to build their future around it. Looking back, that decision seems obvious. At the time, it was anything but. And the next company on this list proved that great Class D amplifiers aren't created by choosing the right module alone. They're created by knowing exactly what to do with it once you've chosen it. Number 4. Bel Canto, the quiet pioneer. Some companies become famous by making a lot of noise. Bel Canto took the opposite approach. Outside dedicated hi-fi circles, many music lovers have never even heard the name. The company rarely dominates magazine covers. It doesn't flood YouTube with advertising campaigns. And it certainly doesn't rely on nostalgia or luxury branding to attract attention. Yet mention Bel Canto to experienced engineers or longtime audio enthusiasts, and you'll often see an immediate sign of respect. That respect wasn't built through marketing. It was built through engineering. Long before Class D became fashionable, Bel Canto was already exploring its potential. At a time when many manufacturers still viewed switching amplification as a compromise, the company was experimenting with advanced ICE power modules and asking a different question. How good can this technology actually become if we stop treating it like a budget solution? That philosophy eventually led to products like the Bel Canto e.One Ref 601M. What makes the REF 601M interesting isn't simply the module inside. Many amplifiers have used ICE power technology. What separates Bel Canto is everything surrounding it: the power supply, the input stage, the circuit layout, the attention paid to mechanical isolation and electrical noise. All the invisible details that never appear in a headline but determine whether an amplifier sounds merely competent or genuinely refined. Over the years, one lesson has become impossible to ignore. A great module does not automatically create a great amplifier. Think of it like an engine. Two manufacturers can purchase the same engine, yet build two completely different cars. One feels ordinary, the other feels exceptional. The difference lies in everything wrapped around it. Bel Canto understood that long before many competitors did. That's why the company quietly earned a reputation for stability, consistency, and thoughtful execution rather than dramatic innovation. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson Bel Canto teaches. Buying an excellent module is relatively easy. Transforming that module into an amplifier worthy of serious hi-fi is the far more difficult challenge. The next company approached that challenge from an entirely different direction, not by trying to make Class D more impressive, but by trying to make people forget they were listening to Class D at all. Number 3, Peachtree Audio, making Class D feel human. For years, the criticism surrounding Class D wasn't really about measurements. On paper, many Class D amplifiers already looked impressive. Low distortion, high efficiency, excellent power output. Yet many listeners still walked away unconvinced, because music isn't judged on a specification sheet. It's judged by how it makes people feel. Peachtree Audio understood that better than most. Instead of asking how to build the most technically impressive Class D amplifier, the company seemed to ask a far more interesting question. How do we make people stop thinking about the technology altogether? That philosophy is beautifully reflected in the Peachtree GaN400. Rather than relying on conventional silicon switching devices, the amplifier embraces gallium nitride or GaN-FET technology, allowing faster switching speeds and greater efficiency with fewer compromises than earlier generations of Class D designs. But the real story isn't gallium nitride itself. It's what Peachtree chose to do with it. The amplifier wasn't created to overwhelm listeners with technical achievements. It was designed to make long listening sessions feel effortless, natural, relaxed, engaging. That's a subtle but important difference. Many companies try to win arguments. Peachtree seems more interested in winning trust, and that's something specifications alone can never accomplish. There's an interesting pattern in consumer psychology. People often believe they purchase audio equipment because of technical performance. In reality, they usually remember how that equipment made them feel. A song that suddenly sounds more intimate, a familiar recording that keeps you listening long after you plan to stop. Those emotional moments are what create loyalty, not another decimal point in a distortion measurement. Peachtree recognized that. The company never tried to prove that Class D was more powerful than every competing technology. Instead, it tried to prove something much more difficult, that Class D could feel human. And once listeners accepted that idea, many stopped caring what technology was hidden inside the chassis. The next amplifier on our list takes a completely different approach. It doesn't chase emotion first. It chases engineering perfection. Number 2, March Audio, the engineer's amplifier. Unlike some of the names we've discussed so far, March Audio isn't a company most casual audiophiles immediately recognize. It doesn't have decades of worldwide brand recognition. It doesn't dominate showroom floors. And it certainly doesn't rely on luxury image or heritage to attract attention. Yet among engineers, DIY enthusiasts, and technically minded listeners, March Audio has earned something arguably more valuable than popularity: respect. One product captures that philosophy particularly well. The March Audio P452. At first glance, the amplifier seems almost understated. No dramatic styling. Everything about it suggests that the engineering mattered more than the presentation. Built around Purify Eigentalk technology, the P452 demonstrates just how much performance can be extracted when implementation becomes the highest priority. Component selection is meticulous. Circuit layout is carefully optimized. Mechanical construction reflects the same disciplined thinking found throughout the design. The measurements are exceptional. But what's even more impressive is why they're exceptional. Not because March Audio discovered a secret module that nobody else could buy. They didn't. Here's an industry reality that rarely gets discussed. Several manufacturers can purchase exactly the same amplification module. That doesn't mean they'll build amplifiers that perform the same. Far from it. Everything surrounding that module still matters. The power supply, the buffering stage, grounding, thermal management, mechanical construction. Every engineering decision either preserves the module's potential or limits it. That's why two amplifiers built around the same Purify platform can sound, measure, and behave differently. Now, March Audio understood that from the very beginning. Rather than treating the module as the product, they treated it as one component within a much larger engineering system. And that's perhaps the most important lesson hidden inside modern Class D. The module may be identical. The amplifier never is, which brings us to the final amplifier on this list. A product that, more than any other, changed the conversation around Class D, not by winning internet debates, but by convincing even lifelong skeptics that perhaps they've been asking the wrong question all along. Number 1, Mola Kaluga. If there is one amplifier that forced even the most skeptical audiophiles to reconsider everything they thought they knew about Class D, it is the Mola Kaluga. Not because it was the most expensive, but because it challenged an assumption that had shaped the audio world for decades. The assumption that Class D would always be a compromise. The story begins with Bruno Putzis, one of the most influential amplifier designers of the modern era. His work on Encore technology fundamentally changed what engineers believed Class D could achieve. Instead of treating switching amplification as an efficient alternative to traditional designs, he approached it as a platform capable of standing on its own. That philosophy eventually found one of its purest expressions in the Kaluga. The amplifier doesn't try to imitate Class A. It doesn't try to sound like Class AB. It doesn't apologize for being Class D. Instead, it embraces the strengths of the technology while refusing to accept its traditional weaknesses. That's an important distinction. For years, many Class D products seemed designed to prove they weren't typical Class D amplifiers. The Kaluga takes a different approach. It simply behaves like an outstanding amplifier, and perhaps that's why it earned so much respect. Not because it won internet arguments, but because it quietly changed people's expectations. Audiophiles who once dismissed Class D as cold or sterile suddenly found themselves questioning opinions they had held for years. In that sense, the Kaluga represents something much larger than a single product. It marks the moment when Class D stopped feeling like the future of hi-fi and started feeling like its present, which leads to the biggest lesson in this entire video. After decades of debate, I think we've all been asking the wrong question. The real question was never whether Class D is better than Class AB. The real question has always been much simpler. Which engineers know how to build a truly great amplifier? Because technology alone has never guaranteed excellence. People do. Today, Class D no longer needs to prove that it can produce outstanding sound. That battle has already been won. The challenge now is something entirely different, proving that the technology has been implemented with care, discipline, and genuine engineering skill. If this countdown has taught us anything, it's that no technology automatically creates a great amplifier. There are disappointing Class AB amplifiers. There are exceptional Class D amplifiers. And there are brilliant engineers working on both. That's why I no longer judge an amplifier by the letters printed on its specification sheet. I pay far more attention to the people behind the design. In the end, the amplifier worth buying isn't simply a Class D amplifier. It's an amplifier built by engineers who truly understand the technology they're working with and who knows how to turn that technology into something that serves the music rather than the marketing. Because great audio was never about choosing sides. It has always been about choosing great engineering. This is Vintage Resonance. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.